Kentucky, what is your state motto, your slogan?
We are the... We like the Wildcats. We like beer. We like titties, and we're having one hell of a time.
It's the Catechin, fellas. Kentucky just beat Kentucky Wesleyan 123-52. How are we feeling?
Not a lot to complain about, man. I don't see anything. I'm looking at the box score and even the Walker Horn gets a +3 on the plus minus. I mean, you really can't ask for much of a better performance here.
Who had the highest plus minus? We got here
Butler and Robinson both at +46. Jackson leading the way in scoring with 19, but Lamont with the 11, 11.6 rebounds, 6 assists, 6 steals in 25 minutes of play, which is outstanding.
That can't be right.
50% from 3.
Everyone was saying that Jackson Robinson was horrible. So surely he couldn't have been one of the best players on the court tonight.
Definitely led the team in scoring. And what I liked about his game as it came to him, he didn't force a lot, but he also created a lot of his own shots. A lot of those came off the bounce. It wasn't. We might have a guy that can get buckets, fellas. Contrary to popular belief, we might have something here.
I think we do, and I think his name's Otega Oweh.
Yeah, that's true.
Because he was popping on screen tonight. Goodness gracious, he's playing with his head on fire. 7 for 9, 2 for 2 from 3. Get out of town. 18 minutes too. In 18 minutes.
That's wild.
Production.
Wait, who led in minutes?
Butler with 25. Butler. That's some even distribution on minutes. 18, 25, 23, 16, 20, 19. I mean, dang. Yeah, pretty much.
I bet none of them wanted more minutes, like they were running all over the place. So
it'll be interesting to see what happens when Kirk Risa can play and where his minutes come from out of this pool. But
right, yeah, is it a 1-for-1 with Travis, or I don't know?
Travis played 15 minutes, which is probably I mean, maybe I would think Kirk get between that 15 to 20, right? I mean, given where everyone else was tonight, that's probably where I'd expect him. So yeah, probably that, and then a minute or two sprinkled here or there because Carl only played 16 minutes. Man, he played good too. Everybody played good. I mean, you win by 61, it's going to be good regardless. But
Ainsley Almanor,
excuse me,
came out today to the Kentucky fan base as more than just like who's going to fill this 12th spot or whatever.
He's second highest plus minus at 39 behind Butler and Robinson. I mean, shoot, 5 for 7 from 3. Yeah, he's just a
5
body
for 7
to
from
fill
3,
a roster
and he
spot.
was his team's 5, right? Like last year.
Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's a Martin Pope guy if I ever heard of him.
I'll tell you, I wouldn't have guessed the team high in fouls. Travis Perry with 3. That was not on my bingo card.
He's trying to do the Butler defense thing, and
yeah. Some good role models.
Mm-hmm.
That's another thing. But with just a one foul and as a team, how did they finish with 5 or 6 turnovers? How many was it? It was 5. One or the other. Okay, 5 turnovers. That's ludicrous, man. In a game where you have 76 shots. I mean, I don't know the possession numbers, but only 5 turnovers. That's good against air. Like I was saying earlier, that's unbelievable.
I think even the bigger
12
takeaway.
Steals.
Yeah. Plus 12 in rebounding. Like you can say all you want about like it's only Kentucky Wesleyan, and that's a fair point. But what sticks out to me is just how well the ball was moving and how guys were in the right place and how we were getting open shots like this. That's not stuff we've seen in previous seasons as Kentucky fans. Usually we would beat these teams in the beginning by just having better athletes than them.
Yeah, Pope mentioned in the post game that was the thing that he liked the most. They, kind of passed up good for great, went the extra 2 feet to make the defensive play. Like just moving the ball really well, and he had a lot of respect for Kansas Wesleyan. He said he wanted to play 2 championship teams in the 2 exhibitions. So, I mean, they did all the extra things. They didn't just out athlete them. That's a really good point.
The
Jared,
disrespect of calling that program Kansas Wesleyan. That's one of the greatest D2 programs of all time, Kentucky Wesleyan. That we just watched. That
we'll take our apology.
Them Louisville Cardinals last year.
We'll also accept written apology. I'm sorry, bro. I just kept talking over you. I'm sorry.
Hey, listen. The meta reaction is as soon as players started rolling in, you saw Mark Pope had a vision for what he wanted this team to look like, and this team executed that exactly how you would expect. I don't know if they could have executed it 123-52. What do you do differently against anybody? So they did it seems like they did what they were supposed to do. They looked good. The lobs connected. It's
Playing
fun to
hard, too.
watch.
The thing that stands out to me was just that I felt like under Cal, so many of even when we had good seasons, often the preseason was slow. We didn't look like we had put anything together yet. I mean, it was always, well, we haven't started working on this yet. I mean, it was always some kind of thing like that. And one of the KSR guys tweeted preseason games of the last 3 years. 2021 nearly lost to Miles College. 2022 beat Missouri Western State 56-38. And 2023 led Georgetown by 1 at the half. And this game was never close, never in doubt. We looked, by all accounts, good.
Outstanding.
And that's so refreshing that we're not learning how to inbound the ball now.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
we've done that in practice. That's the biggest takeaway for me. We look like we've been practicing.
And the
that's
depth pieces
huge.
look like they've been practicing. It's a different world. I mean, so we watched this game together on crappy ESPN streaming.
SEC Plus.
The coolest thing was when somebody said, like, hell yeah, Trent Noah just banged a 3 or whatever. And I was like, I was watching Trent Noah, apparently like a minute behind you guys. So I was just waiting for him to shoot the 3, but it goes and makes 2 laps around the court before it gets back to him and he hits that 3 that you guys reacted to. So it's pretty to watch. It's fun to watch.
11 out of 12 guys had an assist. You know, you go, what was it, 32 assists to 5 turnovers. I mean, that's outstanding. And there's not a whole lot you can even. I looked at a couple times we lost guys on a couple backdoor cuts, or like the boxing out wasn't great at times. I mean, they still what did they rebound them by like 18 or something like that. There's a couple misses. I mean, there's obviously things to clean up, but all in all, I don't know how you really even nitpick it. I mean,
But they're playing at game speed for the first time, actually. Mm-hmm. So, it's still, you're going to be some getting back into the game speed of it all, but this team looks a lot more game speed ready than we've seen in the past. Butler and Amari, did they tie for leading in assists?
Yep, both had 6 assists.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
Colin Chandler didn't have his best game, but he had 4 assists. Even Chandler's getting in on the. Yeah, he did.
He had a big yam at the end there. That dunk was dope.
Yeah, I feel like if anyone was going to sort of start trying to like pick stuff apart that happened in this game, they would say that Colin Chandler and Brandon Garrison didn't have their best games. Now, keep in mind, not every player on the entire team can have the best game of their life.
Yeah.
Right. So just, okay, I'll take that. Colin Chandler had a great blue and white game. He's 1 for 2 so far. Like I'll take that. And you have other guys that are stepping up, particularly like Otega, Oweh, and Jackson Robinson, who both look.
And Trent Noah went 4 for 5.
Yeah,
those people in Rupp. Those people in Rupp were going.
Not getting out of Harlan alive, brother.
Yeah,
that's the Eastern Kentucky boys' dream come true, right there.
Yes,
first game in Rupp.
I said this when we were watching, but I mean, obviously, Colin Chandler's shots weren't going in, but he didn't look rusty. It didn't look like it was a mechanical problem. It looked like he just missed, and that's fine. That happens someday, right? Like, he didn't look bad. He just didn't make his shots.
He also looked like,
and he was 3 for 3 on 2-pointers. So,
his form looked good. His legs looked good. He didn't look. Behind a rusty or anything like that. It's just, not a form. They just sometimes they go, sometimes they don't. But he still found a way to contribute, which is good. Still had some rebounds, still had 4 assists.
So
even with him going off for 4, it's still 50% for 3. Yeah, exactly. 21 of 42s. Second half was 13 to 22. That's because what it was 8 for 20 at the half. Yeah,
That's because Trent Noah came out.
fair enough.
That's true.
Yeah, it's true.
That's legitimately what it is. Yeah.
Between Lamont, Colin, and Brandon Garrison, I think they win a collective 1 for 8 from 3. So it's the other guys doing a lot of the heavy
20
lifting
of 34.
Hey, but if
It's actually 2 for 12 if you toss Perry on there too.
Oh, yeah, that's true. And you got to think with the way that's going to tighten up during the course of the season, the way these lineups are going to tighten up, this 3-point shooting could be very, very good, which means we're never really going to be out of any game.
record breaking
shoot the
good.
three well.
Kobe Bryant shows up today, and I mean that was the Doomers and the burner, the blue and white. It's Kobe Bryant. How much did we spend on him? Whatever. He didn't even look that great, and then he comes out and does over 50% from 3.
It was his defense
gonna be hitting
that really stuck out. He has the lateral quickness and just athleticism and the build to be a very good perimeter defender. Yeah. And if you put him and Lamont on the perimeter
it's
with
a wrap
down low, this could be a very, very good defensive team along with the shooting as the recipe for a Final Four team if it all comes together.
Kirk Kriisa didn't even play, I mean, there's another bit to it, right? I mean, that guy can lock somebody down, I'm sure. A little bit.
And he's a 40% 3-point shooter.
Yeah. Well, that would have brought us down.
Right.
Yeah.
I like the pace they played at, the 39 fast break points. I mean, it could have been more than that. I feel like they did at times not push it as much. It was more, swinging around, ball reversal, stuff like that. But I felt like when they got out in transition, they just, the turnover rate was ridiculously low. Everything just outstanding. I mean, obviously you'll find stuff you'll put out in the film. There's a couple things like I said, a few missed assignments here and there, a couple backdoors that led to jams, stuff like that. But I mean, when you win by 70 points, it's what do you say?
So you said earlier you didn't know how the possessions broke down. We had 73 possessions. We scored on 51 of them for 1.685 points per possession, which is fantastic. That's
outstanding.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, and of course it was. We had 123 points. Like
they also defensively on the perimeter were sticking, no matter how far out the guys were from the 3. They were sticking because they knew that if like Kentucky Wesleyan just wanted to take a bunch of threes because they probably shoot threes decently. So it's like, but it's an exhibition game against Kentucky Wesleyan, and they're still getting after it on the perimeter. They're going to frustrate the hell out of young SEC point guards. And then any game, like you said earlier, it's never out of reach when you can go on fast break point runs like that and you can hit threes like 50%. What is the record for a team?
For a team, I don't know for a team, but
I have no idea.
You're going to put up a ton of them. The thing with the one thing I really liked is that it was they clearly were focused on themselves, not so much Kentucky Wesleyan. It was like, let's get better as just hype to play against somebody that's not themselves, right? Because that gets tiring over the long off season. But to come in and do that, a lot of teams they not naming any names, but they lose these games sometimes, and it's there's still players on the other side of the court. They're trying to play. They're trying to hit shots. This is hard to do against air. I mean, you can have more than 5 turnovers playing, running fast break drills for over the course of 2 hours. You know what I mean? That's pretty remarkable for
against coaches with pads that they're swinging at you.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Right.
Hey guys, I'll be remiss if we don't talk about him because he is kind of the unsung hero of the team so far. Andrew Carr went 4 for 4 for 10 points tonight. And nobody's talking about him, and he could be the best player on the team. The dude just straight up does not miss shots. He missed a free throw, but he does not miss shots.
I think, honestly, he played like he only played 16 minutes, and I think there's a reason behind that. I think he's probably the most game. I mean, maybe not. I don't know. Maybe they needed to see something else, but he went in there, did exactly what he's supposed to do, and then came out.
He's the intern.
He actually he played fewer minutes than everybody other than Garrison
Perry.
and Perry and Trent Noah.
Yep.
Everybody else, I mean, also more than Walker Horn, but
no
but
Walker
everybody
Horn
else
eraser
played more
here.
than him.
That's the human victory cigar right there, brother.
Where was Derbyshire? I can't believe he didn't get tossed in there.
That's a
How do you sub in one walk on? It's
Yeah.
like you put the walk-ons in when it's time for the walk-ons. You don't just say like, okay, maybe we need some Walker Horn right now.
What if he's
I don't get it.
actually
He's
going
in
to
the
be getting
rotation.
some minutes? Yeah.
Maybe so.
He's runner horn this year.
He did have let's see,
An
he
assist.
had an assist.
Oh, that
and a
assist was
steal.
sick. That
And a steal.
that was like a behind the back one arm bounce pass. Yeah, that was sick.
Assist and a steal.
he had a shot. He could have taken that layup too, and he gave a better pass and got the dunk. I mean, he had a pretty wide open shot.
Ridiculously unselfish with the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was like
for a
I don't
walk-on
no,
sure too.
not me, you, not me, you. Just all game. It felt like a movie.
And it didn't feel like they passed. Like, 'cause sometimes you get into that mode where you'll pass up like an excellent shot just to like keep spinning the ball around the rim. But they took the shots they were supposed to take for the most part. There wasn't anyone passing up great shots. It felt like that once it got to that point, they let it fly. I mean, 42 threes.
As soon as the defense starts like trying to match the pattern of whatever they're running, they just fake it out, and Amari goes to the rim.
Oh, the slip screen handoff, where he went and jammed that thing. That was great. That was one of my favorite plays of the game.
Yeah.
Fellas,
God, I can't wait.
We're back.
We're back. Yeah, we're
so
back.
back.
So back.
I feel unreasonably confident that we will play a very good game against Duke. And we're going to be there, boys. God, I can't wait.
When's the next exhibition? I'm trying to look it up here. Is it just in a couple days? Or is it in a week or so? Let me look.
It is the 29th.
Okay.
So it's in 6 days.
Let's go.
Okay. I saw a stat that so out of 58 of the 74 possessions tonight resulted in Kentucky taking a shot within the first 14 seconds of the shot clock. So the pace was excellent. I mean, that's how Pope wants to play. And so, I mean,
and we have enough players to do that all game long.
Mm-hmm.
Who's going to match the cardio?
Yeah, some depth for sure.
Well, yeah. Everyone is sort of assuming that Trent Noah was going to be the 12th guy, and Travis Perry and Ansley maybe 10 and 11, right? But if we can sub our end of the bench with a 5 of 7 3-point shooter, or 4 of 5 3-point shooter, I mean, what do you do?
Yeah, if somebody needs a breather, there's somebody who can come in, run. They obviously know how to execute all of these plays that they're running and get into a position to take a three. That's what you need. If you have that person.
The thing with Trent Noah is I think that you'll see. I don't think, given I could be wrong, things could change. I don't think he's going to get a lot of run defensively, a lot to be desired.
Yeah, sure.
Obviously, 4 or 5 is great. When they came is a little misleading, but I think Ansley Almanor, that's a major development for the end of the bench. Like that's the big one. I think out of it's great to see the local kids hitting some shots, getting some PT, but I think that you'll see that you're not going 12 deep most games. In fact, you probably go 9 deep most games.
But these pre-conference games, if we get out on a run and we're up 25, 30 points and Trent Noah comes in and bangs 4 out of 5 threes, Rupp is happy.
Yeah, no, it'll be great. And I think he'll get some. I'm talking more in games against like Duke or like Gonzaga early on in the non-con. But I think it's extremely encouraging, the 5 of 7. And not only that, but plus 39. I mean, he was out there, building on that lead, had the 4 rebounds. I mean, that was an effective night, 2 assists. Only, not a lot of fouls. They did let him play a little bit. I don't know if you guys felt that, but they weren't calling tons of it. It felt like they really let him play.
Very much so.
I mean, you don't go into we're up an exhibition game and start calling fouls on the boys.
Fair
Crazy.
enough. I mean, I felt like both ways. I felt Kentucky got fouled a few times,
Yeah.
didn't get the call. I felt, Wesleyan got fouled.
Oh yeah, yeah. There's a
many
few
times.
ones that didn't get called.
Yeah.
That especially in the SEC play, they're going to get called.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, there are some games where there are well over 25 fouls called a half. This one, we didn't have 25 called over the course of the whole game.
yeah,
And some of that's probably us shooting. I mean, if that's your play style, you probably don't get to the line as often as maybe we're used to. But that's fine as long as you're making those shots.
Yeah, only 5 free throw attempts for us for the night, so definitely light
Yeah.
on the foul calls, which is fine.
so the depth
Yeah, 6 and 9.
these players coming in and making shots that we considered 0-minute guys. It's also, as the season goes on and a few people are out, you still can run the same offense.
Right.
So it's the team architecture that Pope put together is so good. And when they're all healthy, because they're never going to get hurt because Pope's basically a doctor, then
Fair enough. So, I mean, yeah, I'm excited to see Kirk Risa play, see how that affects things, because that definitely is going to have a huge ripple effect down the line. But, we got another exhibition game coming up. That'll be exciting.
Psyched. Well, I mean,
vibes coordinator, like Jared said.
The mind block, the Minecraft block looking pixelation of Kirk Risa looked sick on the bench, going nuts for everybody. So, yeah.
So a good game then?
No,
I mean,
good game.
I don't know.
A solid C-. I'm just kidding.
Listen, if this is your expectation, okay, you need to raise your expectations. We should have beat them by 170.
I was going to say, if your expectation is to win by 70, you're going to be let down quite often. But I do, looking at the analytics on this, go ahead, sorry.
One of the things that surprised me was how evenly the rebounds were distributed. I mean, it's really easy to sit there and assume that Amari and Andrew Carr and Brandon Garrison get the lion's share of those, but you had 5 from Oweh, 6 from Butler, 3 Robinson, 4 Carr, 5 Williams, 3 Chandler, 4 Garrison, 5 Travis Perry.
I think that comes also
it
from
was
the
super
forcing,
evenly distributed.
Yeah, the forcing the long threes too, and it's just like those rebounds were just flying. So you had those perimeter guys still being able to get them, but every time Oweh got one, it felt like a fullback catch.
Even last year, like looking at like the rebounding with BYU, right? Like Spencer Johnson, Noah Waterman, and Richie Saunders were 3 of your top 4 rebounders for BYU, guards and forwards, not necessarily, Fousseyni Traore or Ali Khalifa. Like they were in the top 5, but 3 of the top 5 weren't your big men. You know what I mean? So that
Right.
it lends to the style, I think. But that, I mean, like I said, that was only one nitpick thing is a couple box outs. But again, you're winning by 70. I guess at times it can be a little bit difficult, but for the most part, I didn't see a ton of slippage. I thought we'd see a little bit more in the second half as it dragged on. You'd see a little bit. You were human. Guys are human. You see the scoreboard. You see but honestly, they kept it rolling. They finished the game on a 15-2 run. I mean, there's not a whole lot you can ask better than that.
Almanor was just the out of left field guy that comes in, and pretty early on, he's like confident and interacting with the media people and just going on the Twitter spaces, whatever. And it's like, this guy thinks he's good and that he's got a role. And so that's always been like a sleeper pick for surprising guy of the year or whatever. And I think now it's just like not a sleeper anymore because he's going to get minutes. And he's going to be that guy that if any of the bigs, he played the 5 a little bit tonight. I'm pretty sure.
Well, and he played 20 minutes. I mean, he played half the game.
Yeah,
that's true. And it's a little bit positionless at times. Like they're going to post up sometimes, but I mean, you got 5 guys, just swinging in and out and setting screens over. I mean, yeah, it's a little bit positionless, but yeah, he did play. He was in as the big at one point.
Yeah, and just to see that, well, I mean, we knew kind of what to expect out of Amari because it's like, okay, he's going to play that 5 that gets all the assists, right? Because it's Mark Pope, and that's what he did at BYU. But to see it and to see just the
Fits him like a glove.
orchestration, yeah.
Told you.
I feel like there is more NBA talent on this team than people thought because it's like
Maybe not lottery style, but late.
but you can see all of the potential at it. Like Mark Pope has identified strengths and he is magnifying them, and I think that's going to help with recruiting down the line. Yeah,
Some grown men out there, man.
And to see the execution of the vision to a higher degree than I thought, honestly. Like, and this is an anti-Doom podcast. So
we only do about football.
Homerism, all of the good, fanatic. So, and it still surpassed my expectations.
Yeah.
I sad football in the past. Sad football's in the past because it's basketball time. So,
all right, fellas. Sounds like a good game. Sounds like a good wrap up. I think we'll see everybody for the next episode, and we'll keep doing these instant reactions. Thanks for watching the Catechin, and we'll see you guys soon.
Go Cats.
Subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
I'm drunk.